Hi everybody, it's Veroosh and welcome to my channel. I'm excited to be here today to talk about the Chiron Sun planetary cycle and its solar return chart. The Sun joined with Chiron on April 12th, 2025 during the full moon, but I thought it would be helpful for us to look over the energy because it's so important for the year ahead, as well as the Pluto-Mars opposition that we are about to have. So today we are going to talk about the Sun-Chiron Kazemi. A Cazimi is whenever any transit meets the Sun in the same degree, and this begins a new planetary pattern that will last a period of a year. So today we are going to take a look at what this energy represents, how it will affect your life over the next 12 months, and what new patterns are emerging this year that will help you elevate. Chiron is an asteroid that represents cycles of healing in our life. In Aries, it takes a very special quality of working through issues to do with identity, self-esteem, and how we show up in the world. It also has a lot to do with how we are treated, so it's not so only internal, but also how you are experiencing the world and how the world is experiencing you. Chiron in Aries helps us to learn to value ourselves, but there may be forces trying to push us down and trying to take away our rights in this capacity too. Under this transit, we may often feel misunderstood. Some of us may feel that we have to fight to exist and feeling like we are never at pace with other people. You may find that your identity is not being accepted by others, or you are around people who do not accept you. Some of us may experience intercultural shame, and that's being told that your culture is behaving in ways that are inappropriate. Some of us may be offered roles that are limiting, roles such as the rebel, the fighter, or the lone wolf. These types of roles are exclusionary and imply a peripheral existence socially. Some of us may experience a lack of positive social mirrors who accept us as we are. To this energy, we are receiving from the universe support and events that will encourage your self-acceptance. During this time, there is a rise of self-help and tolerant psychological narratives online. You can look to the short-form social media content in which topics such as neurodivergence are celebrated and openly talked about. And since Chiron has been in Aries, we have seen many protests break out where people come together in defense of themselves, but also other people. Planetary cycles are when two or more transits come together and form a conjunction or a syzygy. A syzygy just means that there are three transits that come together at any given time. Chiron and the Sun will form 8 Cazimis over a period of about 8 years, and each Cazimi is the beginning of a planetary cycle. Each time that the Sun and Chiron join together, this pattern is reset. This conjunction on April 12th is the second to last Cazimi before Chiron enters into Taurus in 2027. The next conjunction will happen in Aries as well on April 2026. So each Sun-Chiron conjunction represents a planetary cycle that is going to bring about deeper themes and healing. Each time they come together, new patterns emerge that are going to help you elevate and gain more personal empowerment. Under the Sun-Chiron planetary cycle, many of us will reevaluate our core identities and ask ourselves if we can demand more from our environment. You can ask yourself, are you accepting rejection from people because you have been conditioned to be complacent? And are you avoiding seeking approval from people or find people who will be approving of you because you have been lulled into accepting relationships that reject you? Some of us will be addressing childhood issues because that's how it all started. And others may experience healing father wounds, sometimes regarding their biological father and others regarding male role models, and asking ourselves if we are avoiding dealing with certain issues because we have been shamed away from looking at them. Others may be dealing with issues to do with masking and hiding their true self away from the social space in order to gain approval from others. The Sun-Chiron planetary cycle will help you realize certain life events no longer have a hold on you. It will remind you that the world is creating for you conditions that are affirmative and will provide you what you need. Under this transit, many of us will step away from the influence of overbearing people, and we will learn new skills to be resilient to any gaslighting involved in their behavior. This is a time when many people will demand more from their immediate partner. This will lead to both weddings and breakups as it tests relationships. Many great artists will emerge at this time as people will communicate through art and creativity how much they have been through. A solar return chart is cast for the exact time and reset of a planetary pattern. Oftentimes, it is cast for your birthday, at which time an astrologer or you yourself cast a chart for the time that you were born in the present year. This gives you an idea of the year ahead until the sun comes back to the same position. The same thing can be done for a Cazimi, and this gives us an idea of the year ahead and how the energies will emerge. But in this case, we are looking at the planetary return chart for the sun's return to the Cazimi point with Chiron. This will give us a snapshot of the energies of the upcoming cycle. In other words, it's going to help us understand what will come up for us in these themes, these Chiron themes, over the next year. So just to remind you a little bit, the conjunction happened under the Libra Full Moon, and I will link that video in the description. What was special about that was the conjunction happened at the perigee of the moon, which means that at Aries right now, the moon is at its closest position to the earth, and this is very rare. So what's special about this is this combination, the perigee and the Cazimi, has only happened 3 other times in the last 50 years. In 1981, the Sun and Chiron joined in Taurus with the perigee. In 1992, the Sun and Chiron joined in Leo with the perigee. And in 2015, the Sun and Chiron joined in Pisces with the perigee. So this is only the 4th Cazimi that's happened between the Sun and Chiron in the moon's closest position. The moon's closest position, the perigee, has a lot to do with self-awareness. This is when the moon is closest to the earth and our emotions are most active. This is why this conjunction is so significant, because it gives us a lot of data and information, especially emotional information, what we need to know about Chiron and Aries. Everybody will be different. The perigee of the moon is a very powerful position. The fact that this cycle began at this point signals that 2025 is a powerful year for healing and elevation. This year, we will fight to defend ourselves, and those attempts will be successful. Many people will quit their jobs and relationships that are undermining them. You will experience deep emotional understanding of harmful patterns around you that hold you back. Your resiliency will increase to relationships that try to undermine you. You will understand your parents on a more profound and deep level. You will also become a much more awesome parent to your kids. Figure out how to deal with life that works for you and have resilience to outside influence trying to persuade you otherwise. Okay, so I wanted to do a little bit of a deeper look based on house placement. So you're going to have to get your chart and find out where 22 degrees of Aries is in your chart, which house. This is not going to be necessarily determined by your rising, your moon, or your sun. You want to literally look at your chart and find where this conjunction is. There are certain house systems that will be determined by rising, but not all of them. So to keep it simple, take a look at your chart, find where 22 degrees of Aries is, and this is the point of conjunction. We are going to take a look at that house right now and determine what energies are coming in. So if the conjunction is happening in your first house, your self-confidence will get a massive boost. In fact, you've been seeing a pattern of this already since 2018. If this conjunction is happening in your second house, make sure to make your money work for you at this time. Making your money work well for you will definitely elevate you, and it has to do with your relationship with money. So make sure to focus on that. If the conjunction is happening in your third house, your neighborhood is your friend. There can be moments of popularity and alliances with siblings and people who are around. For those of you who like to write, writing can be a really wonderful conduit for personal empowerment. If the conjunction is happening in your fourth house, it's time to renew your home and redecorate. In fact, you've been probably improving on or working through improving your surroundings for a few years now. If this is happening in your fifth house, art and creativity and just having fun will greatly empower you. So you should lean into those energies. If this conjunction is in your sixth house, a methodical practice that you will commit to will greatly empower you. If the conjunction is in your seventh house, relationships are going to empower you, and it's your goal or your priority to choose relationships that are supportive and that help you elevate. If this conjunction is happening in the eighth house, it's likely that you are going to make a lot of changes. In fact, you've been seeing changes in your life repeat since about 2019 in intense ways. Changes in relationships, changes in work, changes in your surroundings as well. You're not going to put up with much, and I think you should not be shy of making changes when something's holding you back from being you. If this conjunction is happening in the ninth house, you need to do something with your genius ideas. It's likely that you have ideas that you hold back, that you haven't put to use, and this is your opportunity to show them, to make use of them in the world. If this conjunction is happening in your 10th house, you should be really leaning into your career. So you should be showing up for your work, doing your best, and really trying to get the most out of your public environment. If this conjunction is showing up in your 11th house, you are the glue that holds your friendship group together. So these patterns of social relationships with you at the center become very important. And last but not least, if you have this conjunction in the 12th house, you need to lean into your spirituality and your intuition. There's nothing too weird. There's nothing too taboo. You need to go out there and do it. Okay, so age matters when we are considering Chiron. This is because it's going to impact two generations a little bit more. If you were born between 1968 and 1976, you're experiencing a Chiron return. And this is probably the group that is going to be impacted by this the most. If you were born between 1995 and 1997, you are experiencing a Chiron opposition, and this will greatly affect your relationships with other people. So you're extra sensitive to how other people treat you and how you internalize how they treat you. There's a very important date that's coming up, and the reason why I did this video. The date is April 26, 2025. This is when the moon will reach its perigee position. It will be the closest to the earth. This is going to be the same position at which Chiron and Sun join together on April 12th. This date happens to coincide with the Pluto Mars opposition. We will talk about the Pluto-Mars opposition in a different video, but what's important for you to know is that Mars in Leo is working to help you defend yourself against unfair treatment by different groups of people. The moon will be squaring this position, and so it's likely that the Sun-Chiron conjunction on April 12th set in motion certain events that are going to transpire on April 26, 2025, and that you will become very intensely aware of because the moon will square that position. Don't worry, this is going to really help you. And we will talk about this later when we talk about the Pluto-Mars opposition. Okay, so there's one more date that I want to highlight. It's January 27th, 1846. This is when Pluto and Mars formed a conjunction at 23 degrees of Aries. This is a historic event, and a lot of the Pluto-Mars cycle has a lot to do with mundane astrology. But I think a lot of the things that are happening around us are interacting with the Pluto-Mars cycle in a very intense way. So just to reiterate, the conjunction between Sun and Chiron in 2025 was in this exact position. A lot happened in 1846. A lot of world-changing events happened, so let me give you a synopsis. This was the beginning of the American-Mexican War, in which northern Mexico was annexed to American Empire. It's also the year in which UK and the US signed the Oregon Treaty and divided the northern states, Washington State, etc., and British Columbia, because before it was one territory that was mutually governed by the two countries. Another notable thing that happened in 1946 is that San Francisco was renamed, which is a colonial act as well, from Yerba Buena, which I like the name much better, to be honest. If we look to South Asia, it was the first Anglo-Sikh war that actually greatly influenced the region and UK domination of Punjab territories. In Poland, the Galician peasant uprising happened. This was a key area of Poland that was under contention during and after World War II. So as you can see, the Pluto-Mars planetary cycle is interacting with the Sun-Chiron planetary cycle in these echoes with each other, dating back to the 19th century. Okay, so I'm going to take a look at your tarot cards and give you some personal messages for the year ahead. Let me know if you have any questions and make sure to answer this question in the comments below. I really like doing these types of readings for you guys. I hope you're enjoying them too. I'm getting really good feedback on them. I think that they're much more organized and succinct. I will be doing the all sign readings as well, so don't worry, more is coming. I was tripping over my words a lot today, so I hope you guys will be nice and give me, I found this little like, okay. In short, the Sun-Chiron conjunction is beginning a planetary cycle that's going to bring in energies of self-worth, empowerment, and hopefully growth. I really like this card in the center, which is the Chariot. And so the Chariot is all about overcoming. It's the card that rules Cancer. And it's suggesting that you are going to overcome a lot of personal issues, especially to do with the emotions. So things that are heavy for you to carry or hard to deal with. One of the things I didn't talk about in the astrology that's significant is the fact that this conjunction happened under the full moon when the moon was far away. The reason I didn't talk about it there is because we already talked about this in the full moon video, but what we're looking at is a year-long trajectory if we consider the the solar return chart, in which we will be emotionally resilient to things that usually weigh down our emotions or are hard to carry. So I feel as though if we consider the solar return chart under this Libra full moon, no matter what comes up in your life, you are going to be prepared and you are going to be resilient, having more energy to stand up for yourself and do well by yourself or for yourself. I think someone is depending on another person. We have the Knight of Wands here. I feel as though there's familiarity or some kind of pattern that's established between people. We have the Queen of Pentacles, who could be a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, but she has gotten used to someone who may not always be there. And I think that maybe this time there's this energy of not calling back. So you're not the one who's going to be reaching out. And for some of you, this means that that relationship will not work out. There will be a period of maybe some degree of confusion, as if you don't know what to do with yourself. But I think that this is the perfect time to get out of a situation in which someone is not being consistent or not being solid with regard to you. The queen here has a baby, so there's other responsibilities that she has in her life that this relationship is straining. And it doesn't have to be romantic, but it's some kind of inconsistency that needs to be removed from your life. I think that a lot that is influencing you in terms of decision making is trying to get a strong foothold financially. So you're scared to make certain decisions because you're worried that financially things will not work out. This is saying to go slow, but overall you are doing it, putting one foot in front of the other and taking yourself forward. So it's just a matter of time and effort. And like I said, in the center, we have this massive cart, the Chariot, that has to do with overcoming and improving circumstances for the better. The oncoming energy is the Page of Cups, the Fool, and the Ten of Cups. And I really like this. I have a feeling that you're going to trade one type of relationship that's just not being nice to someone who really wants to be in your presence. So I think a lot of this energy with the Sun-Chiron conjunction is about self-worth, choosing better relationships, finding yourself in better places, turning away from people who try to teach us that we are less than or not valuable or not helpful or not deserving of appreciation and respect, and turning towards people who are excited to be there, happy to get to know you. This is a new relationship or a new friendship, but there's a lot of satisfaction there. So I think that this is a reminder that you should be turning towards people who are excited to know you, people who want to be around you, and for whom you are a treasure to be with. Okay, so this is pointing to the fact that some of this you have to do on your own creativity, your own wherewithal. You have to kind of pull yourself away and do certain things by yourself. And I think that there's a level of maybe hesitancy or feeling like you really have to carry a lot to do this. So maybe it feels unfair that you have to start off alone or do it alone, but trust me, this is going to lead you into long-term financial prosperity, which is the Seven of Pentacles. So a lot of times we have this perception to be successful, we have to do it with others. But in reality, a lot of great things start in the effort of isolation and the effort of learning a craft or a skill or learning and doing it by yourself. There is going to be a person or people who emotionally challenge you. I would say that this is a young, youthful, and petty energy, someone who says crass things as you are working hard. So we have the Ten of Wands here. And I think that it's important to keep in mind that anyone who puts down someone who is putting in the effort is not doing something that is good. And in fact, it's likely that they're doing that as a projection of their own issues. Still, I feel as though it's going to give you some degree of stress and worry. But the only thing that I'll say here is if someone is being shallow or callous and being hurtful to you when you are trying to work, then I think that you need to really get good at practicing and telling yourself that it's not you, it's them. The nice thing here is that I think you're going to be working really hard. This is the 10 of Wands, and I think that you're going to be achieving a lot. So you don't want to get lesser people in the way trying to get inside of your head for their own reasons. A lot of times when we're working hard, people get triggered because they are not working so hard, so they lash out because of this. So just understand you're dealing with other people's psychology and their behavior is a reflection of their own insecurities. Okay, so I'm not calling out Sagittarius, but for some of you, Sagittarian relationships will be a strain. Also, spending too much time in passive inactivity, seemingly doing something but not actually doing anything, is something you really want to work on. And especially things such as spending time with friends or excessive amounts of socializing and just taking it easy and not paying attention to things, you will regret the times that you overindulge in sort of loitering around with other people. This does not mean that you need to be alone, but I think that it's really important to just keep in mind that your time is valuable. And this year you are gaining powerful life lessons from lived experiences. So you really want to tune into life and live it fully, embody it fully. Some of this is seeming like maybe the internet, like cut down your internet use, cut down your screen time as much as you can. This is encouraging you to stay present in the moment. And for some of you, this is going to be about taking care of your life and maybe spending less time online with internet friends. Hello, spend time with me, not the other guys. I'm just kidding. Okay, so I think that there's going to be interesting dynamics for you in terms of walking away from certain things. I really strongly get the feeling that people will feel empowered to walk away and take care of themselves, especially in bad situations. But some of your motivations or intentions are going to be hidden, which means that people will not necessarily know that you're going away or that you're thinking about it so much. I think what this is saying is that you need to be very resilient to not beat yourself up over things you didn't do. Do your best and try really hard, but don't try to set yourself into a perfectionist state where you have to do a lot more than you're capable of. Do your best, apply yourself, pull yourself away from laziness and procrastination as much as you can. Celebrate your emotional victories, especially one of the major themes intuitively that I got was overcoming emotional blocks, which is like when certain situations emotionally intimidate you and sort of cause you to freeze. At this time, you will overcome whatever that paralysis is. Here, I see you as the strength card, and I think that asserting yourself and stepping into your own truth, and this is the Mars where Mars in opposition to Pluto will be, stepping into your own truth and doing right by yourself and really practicing whatever it is that you have chosen despite of what any outside influence is, and still trying pull from that fulfillment and rewards and emotional satisfaction is what you will really achieve. I think you need to prepare yourself to let people down. It's either you're going to get let down or other people around you will have to experience some kind of disappointment in the relationship. If you do not let other people down, they're going to let you down. And so you're going to feel let down by your own permissiveness of the situation. Your goal here is to overcome emotional blockages and any kind of which way in which you let other people's influence into your life to overwhelm what you should be doing is going to leave you disappointed and upset if you are not taking care of that. Really work on your internal monologue. So do positive affirmations, meditations, read positive books, or listen to positive music. Consciously think about the way that you're thinking and empower yourself to think openly and hopefully in all situations. Look at your mental patterns of thinking against yourself and really put a lot of effort in to level up. I really feel this planetary cycle is a moment of transformation. We only have 2 more years of this energy in Aries, and Taurus is going to be much different, Chiron and Taurus. So use this energy to improve yourself, work on yourself. Enjoy your friends. You got the 2 of Cups on the bottom. Enjoy your relationships. You're not going to be without. But the point is, here and from the astrology, giving over so much to others will really cut you down. And in 2 years' time, who knows where we'll all be at and how much ability we will have for making these changes that are available to us now. So these are emotional shifts that I'm seeing in Aries. Honor yourself by practicing your craft. I love this card here. I think it's suggesting that applying yourself is going to lead to so much success and fulfillment. So use that energy. I think your warning is this early energy that shows up in your life where somebody's being fickle. And I think that you're supposed to acknowledge that, and from that, allow that to inspire you to remember that people don't stick around forever, and the only person that you have is you and the things that you have earned. Okay, I hope this wasn't too intense, but I totally think you can do it. I think there's a lot of positivity and a lot of new opportunities coming your way. I don't think you should allow snaky people in close emotionally, and in fact, I don't think you will do it. I think you have some pretty significant people who will be an inspiration for you, and I think that you should follow your calling instead of just hoping you are going to follow your calling and just put it off for another day. Chiron has been in Aries since 2018, so it's already been 7 years, and I'm sure you've already made a lot of personal progress, but like pedal to the metal. We have 2 years to go. Now's the time to just really go for it. So there will be things in the way. These are mental blockages that have us all stuck that will try to encourage you to be more passive. But I think you should be very active in this energy to make your life better, to bolster yourself, to improve things where things need improving, and really, really work on your self-talk and self-confidence. Okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry for the sun, but I guess it's a blessing. Have a nice day. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.